welcome. I know we have some people still walking in, but we're going to go ahead and start the program at the same time. So I wanted to thank a few individuals who are here today to talk about employee benefits. So to start, if you're not familiar with this program, this is part of our School of Medicine staff Toolkit session. So we hold these once a month, the fourth Thursday of every month, fourth Tuesday every month at noon in this location. And so we have a couple of programs that are coming up in the next month that you may have seen in the last email. So today we're going to talk about employee benefits. And here with us we have Holly Gibson. We also have Amy Sheldon, both from HR Benefits Office. And then we have Pam Lavin from IT, who's going to share some information with us today as well. We do have assessments. If you don't mind completing those by the end of the program and leaving them here at the front, so you can give them to me directly. We also have a sign-in sheet. I know some of you may not have signed in, so I'm going to pass that around. So as the program's going, if you don't mind filling that out. And then if you have any other questions, we have some experts here that will be able to answer those. And hopefully we can give out some more information following the toolkit as well as emails to answer further questions. So I will leave it to Holly. Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle. Well, hi, everybody. As Danielle said, my name's Holly Gibson. I'm a benefits specialist here at CASE. Specifically, I handle the tuition benefit here. I'll be speaking about that in a couple minutes. Amy and I are going to present a few of the benefit topics for you just to kind of go over and review. And we're going to allow some time for questions and answers at the end of our little presentation. So if you have something you want to ask us, if you want to jot it down so you don't forget, that would be great. If you have something personal that you'd like to ask us, not in front of the group, we'll be here afterwards as well. Okay? All right, so just to get started, we're just going to do just a recap of what benefits are available for you guys, okay? So under our Benelect options, our health plans, we still have 4 plans in which you can choose from. We have 2 PPOs, one being through Anthem, the other being through Medical Mutual Supermed. We have 1 HMO, which is a new product this year, but it's still the HMO. It is the MMO CleCare. Some of you may be enrolled in that, and that is for use of Metro providers and facilities. And we still have the high deductible health plan through Anthem. Okay. Dental, still 2 dental plans. You can either choose the Dentamax plan or our own School of Dental Medicine. Vision, still 2 plans, VSP or Union Eye Care. Under life, we still offer the basic $20,000 benefit for every employee here at CASE, so you're automatically enrolled in that. If you wanted additional life insurance, there is supplemental, where you can choose either a flat $50,000 benefit, or you can do multiples of your salary, anywhere between 1 and 3 times your salary. We still offer spending accounts in the forms of a healthcare FSA or dependent care FSA. These are plans where you can set aside pre-tax dollars to help pay for your out-of-pocket expenses or daycare expenses if you incur those. You'll see this when we go to do our open enrollment notification. You cannot make changes during the year unless you have a qualifying event, which we'll go over in a minute. But these are still what's out there for you, and every November you have the opportunity to make changes if you want to do that. For those of you who may not have known, we did have a couple updates for this year. The first one being our CVS Minute Clinic services. I don't know if any of you have used those or know they're available to you. It's a really wonderful service in lieu of going to, say, an urgent care or even the emergency room, which costs you a lot more money. You can go ahead if you are enrolled in our prescription plan through CVS Caremark, so that being if you're on the Anthem or Medical Mutual plans, you can actually show your CVS Caremark ID at a Minute Clinic and use the benefit there. So again, you're saving yourself out-of-pocket costs. In addition to that, at the CVS Caremark Minute Clinics, they are now offering vaccination services, okay, for a 0 copay. So if you can't get into your doctor or this is more convenient, you can stop into a CVS Minute Clinic and get even your annual flu shot I know we do it on campus, but if that's not convenient and you happen to be by a Minute Clinic, you can pop in and not pay anything for that, as well as other preventative care vaccines. As I said before, we do have an annual open enrollment period every November. You should receive notifications in the daily, which I know we all read, as well as our packet that we send out to you via campus mail, usually around the end of October. You should be receiving that. That is your one time every year to make changes. Again, no reason necessary. If you don't like something, want to switch, whatever the case may be, you can go ahead, go online, make your changes for the next year. Want to point out though, if you do nothing, okay, you don't log into the system, you don't do anything at all, make any changes, what you have currently in place defaults for the next year, okay? So I don't think that sometimes comes across or gets communicated out real well, but want to make sure you're aware of that. So if you're happy with everything, great. If you decide you don't want to make any changes, that too is great, and you'll just be defaulted into what you currently have on file. Okay? As we said before, whatever you choose to elect remains in effect for the entire calendar year. You can have a change of status. These bullet points up here that I'll pop up on the screen for you are what the IRS considers qualifying life events. So if you get married or you get divorced, if you have a child, if you have a death of a family member, or if someone has a change of employment status, or if your spouse gains or loses insurance through his or her employer, these are all reasons that you will be allowed to make a change mid-year through your plan. Okay? What I really need you guys to remember is that you have to notify us within 30 days of the event. Okay? That's the most important thing I need you guys to take away from today. Okay? I'm not going to go through the process and the paperwork and everything you need, because we'll talk about that if and when you're in this situation. I just really need you guys to remember the 30 days is important, because that is the window the IRS gives us. Okay, if you get married May 1st and you come see us in August after your 3-month honeymoon, I'm really jealous. However, I won't be able to add your spouse at that time, and you'll have to wait for open enrollment. Okay?
And I'm going to interrupt Holly briefly just to say that you have to remember, people say, oh, 30 days, case will override that. It is not just case involved in this. The insurance companies, we have the contract with them, and they also have to follow the IRS rules. So even if we're deeply sympathetic of why you took your 3-month honeymoon and are only now showing up, the insurance company isn't. So please remember the 30 days.
Yeah, like I said, we're the benefits people. We are the ones always out there like, please just remember 30 days, because you'll be at our office asking, and we can't override it, unfortunately. And again, just a reminder, there will be a change of status form you'll need, but we will tell you what documentation and what the form needs to be filled in if and when you ever get to that point. Okay. I'm going to switch over to Amy to let her talk to you about the retirement, and then I'll be back for the tuition. Get myself clipped up here.
All right, I can talk about this for any of you who know me know I can talk about retirement benefits for like days if you need me to. So I'm going to try to keep this fairly short, so there will be time for questions, and I'm just going to mainly go over the basics. First of all, we have 2 different retirement plans here. One for faculty and senior staff, and that's Plan A. The other is for all the rest of us staff. That has since divided into 2 pieces, and I'll get to that second. I'm going to start, I know we have at least a couple people in here who are in Plan A. Hopefully you are all fairly familiar with how it works. What we do is with Plan A, the university contributes based on your salary to one of 2 investment carriers, Vanguard or TIAA-CREF. It's a percentage of your salary. It's 8% of 50% of the Social Security taxable wage base, 12% of all salary above the 50% of the Social Security taxable wage base up to the IRS maximum. And you've all got that, of course. It's just basically, we have a break point that moves with inflation. Every year, Social Security has this wage base that they charge you Social Security taxes up until you hit that point. Right now, it's up about $118,000 and change. When they first set this plan up, they decided that was too high, so they use half of it. And half of it right now is $59,250. The Social Security taxable wage base goes on a calendar year basis, but we here at CASE do everything on an academic year basis. So instead of it changing every January 1st, it changes July 1st. For the month of June, we're still under last year's Social Security taxable wage base of $118,000 and change. This year, the wage base went up to $123,000 some, so the amount is changing on July 1st that we do the 8% on. Everything you make above that 8% amount, say if you made $100,000 a year, the first beginning July 1, the first $63,000 some dollars, we've calculate 8% of. The remaining $37,000, we would figure at 12%. So obviously, the more you make, the more goes in. The calculation is done on an annual basis, so the way the system actually calculates it out is it looks at what you made that month, multiplies it by 12 to get your annual salary, does the calculation, adds the two pieces together, divides by 12, and that's how much goes in that month. So someone who has a raise during the year, they do get the accurate amount put in each month based on their salary for that month. The employee does not have to put in penny number one. Once you are eligible for this plan, the university starts contributing. You just need to choose between Vanguard and TIAA-CREF. It is 100% vested immediately. So once you're eligible for this, again, money starts going in. If you quit 2 months later, that 2 months worth of contributions are yours. There is a 1-year waiting period to enter this plan. So when you're hired, you normally would not be eligible for it until 1 year until you've been here for 1 full year. That 1-year waiting period can be waived if you have prior service, benefits eligible service at another college or university. You can contribute your own money to retirement, which is an excellent idea. And in the faculty plan, they have a supplemental account. They can put in the minimum per month is $25. The maximum is up to the IRS maximum, which this year is $18,000. If your salary is high enough that you can contribute $18,000 out of one paycheck, you could do that. You can also, if you're over age 50, you can put another $6,000 on top of that. So potentially someone could put $24,000 aside. And again, you can put in from $25 a month up to whatever the maximum is. We actually have it built into the system that when you hit that maximum, it shuts off. You will not, believe me, you cannot over-contribute. We will stop you. The only way it's possible to over-contribute is to leave us and then go someplace else and try contributing through that employer. The IRS will catch you. It'll take them a couple years, but believe me, one day you will get a nice letter from them. Again, which this one is pretty much a no-brainer, the supplemental contributions are 100% vested immediately because they're coming out of your pocket. Obviously, it's your money. You're vested immediately. Now let's get to the next plan. First I'm going to talk about the current staff plan. The staff retirement plan changed on July 1st, 2015. Everyone who was hired since July 1, 2015, and that includes people who were rehired. So even if your original hire date was back in the past, if you left us and then came back after July 1st, 2015, you are in the Plan C staff non-contributory plan. It is actually much more similar to the faculty plan than the old staff retirement plan, which I'll talk about next. The way it works is once you are eligible, again, a 1-year waiting period, unless you have service at another college or university, in which case that 1 year can be waived. You would start in this plan. Unlike Plan A, there are only 2 entry points into this plan, July 1st and January 1st. So if you are hired, say, on August 1st, if you have 1 year prior service, you're not going to start right in the plan on August 1st. You won't go into it until January 1st of 2018. If you're hired on August 1st and you don't have prior service, you will not actually be entered in this plan until January 1st, 2019. You've got to get through your 1 year to August 1st, 2018, and then wait till the next entry point. Once you hit that entry point, the university is going to start making contributions to either Vanguard or TIAA-CREF. Do I have anyone here who's a new employee hired since July 1st, 2015? Right, I've got, once you hit that 1 year mark, hopefully,
Although I worked at a university before, so
then you, either July 1st, how long ago did you start? About a year ago or more?
August 2015.
Of 2050, you're in this plan then.
Yeah.
And what is happening, money is either going to Vanguard or TIA-CREF. It is based on 6% of your gross salary, and that contribution goes in immediately. This has a 3-year vesting period. So you do have to stay at CASE for 3 years from your date of hire, not from the date we started making contributions, but from the day you're hired.
Does that count your prior
No.
university?
Well, not the prior university, no. That got you in the plan faster, but you have to be at CASE for you're going to have to be here until August of 2018 for that money to actually be yours. If you left now, you would forfeit it, and it would come back to the university. Nice plan. You choose which carrier it goes into. You choose how the money is split up between the funds. It's there for you. If you leave the university before vesting, as long as you return within 5 years, you would pick up vesting again. If you're gone for more than 5 years, then the money is the university's, and even if you come back 6 years later, you're starting again from scratch. Now 6% is a bit lower than 8% and 12%. So employees have the opportunity, and this is all employees. The Plan C supplemental has been in effect since the early 2000s. I believe it was July 1st, 2000 it happened. All staff employees also have the opportunity to contribute themselves. They can contribute a percentage of their pay. The university will do a 50% match of what you're putting aside, up to you doing 4%. So like if you decide to contribute 1% of your pay, and that works out to $50 a month, $50 wouldn't be going to Vanguard or TIA-CREF each month, $75 would. Your 50 plus another 25 from the university. You decide to do 4% of your pay, so that's $200 a month. Well, $300 is actually going to go. Calculate that, yeah, you're going to get. Say you decided to do 6% of your pay. Well, you would be putting in $400 a month, but the university would still be capped at the 50% of the first 4%. So you can certainly go higher than 4%, but you're only going to get that 50% match up to 4%. If you, unlike the non-contributory plan where you've got your vesting, the university's match is 100% vested immediately. So if you're a new hire and you enroll in that plan and you start contributing, then after you've been at CASE for 1 year, you walk away. You say, "I can't stand this place. Let me out of here." No one would ever. No. The non-contributory plan, that money would eventually be forfeited if you didn't come back within 5 years. But the supplemental plan, every penny that you put in and every penny the university matched is yours. Seriously, if there's anyone in here who is not doing a supplemental contribution to Plan C, please start doing it. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. You're giving up free money if you're not doing it. You certainly don't have to jump right in at the 4% level. I'd recommend, if you're worried about how it's going to affect your paycheck, start out with 1%, because you can change what you're doing in it every 3 months. So if you did start at 1% and realize, wow, I'm not even noticing this is happening because it's a before-tax contribution. So you're not going to see the full 1% come out of your paycheck. You're going to save taxes on part of it. 3 months later, you can up it to 2%. And then each year, when you get your review and get your raise, you might want to consider raising it up a little more. Because this can make a real difference on how comfortable you're going to be in retirement. And the younger you start, the better off you are. But even if you're only a couple years away from retirement, do it anyway, because that'll give you a nice little bit of money that when you retire, you can use it to maybe pay off some bills and make your retirement a bit more comfortable. Now, for the majority of the room, the people who were hired before July 1st, 2015, you are in Plan B, whether you want to be or not. That is the staff pension plan, and that is your good old-fashioned pension plan. Again, it's 100% university contributions. And again, there was a 1 year waiting period to go in it with the entry points either July 1 or January 1. What the university does for all of us who are in Plan B is each year on June 30th, we look back over the prior fiscal year and we figure out 7% of your salary. That money goes in a lump sum into a trust fund in your name. 3-year vesting, so if you're at case for 3 years, pretty much everyone in Plan B, now there's still a year to go. So in 1 year from now, anyone who I'm talking to who has Plan B will be vested, because if they were hired on June 30th, 2015, a year from now they'll have made 3 years. This, unlike Plan C, which is a plan where if you leave the university and you're vested in it, you can leave it there to grow. You could move it out if you wanted to, no matter what age you are when you leave case. With this pension plan, you cannot touch it till you reach case's normal retirement age, which is age 65. So that money will sit there, it'll continue, you know, it'll wait for you, and at age 65 you will have the choice of either taking a pension based on how much was put in it, or you could take it as a lump sum of cash. Is there anyone in here who was hired prior to July 1st, 1992? Do I have any real old timers in here? You don't count. We got. The reason I said that is because prior to the Plan B that just went away, there had been a further change to the plan back on July 1st, 92. Any service time you have prior to July 1st, 92, the only way you can take that is as a pension. You know, I said when you retire, when you reached age 65, you could take it either as a pension or a lump sum. Now, those of you who have been here for a long, long time, there's a chunk of it that the only way you're ever going to be able to get it is as a monthly pension. Then the other part of it, the stuff since July 1st, 92, you'll have the choice of either adding it to the pension or taking it as a lump sum and like putting it in with your supplemental Plan C money.
So if you're in Plan A, you're not.
No.
Yeah.
Anyone who's in Plan A here, you can be totally ignoring everything I've said about Plan C and about this Plan B. This is your time to sleep a bit.
What kind of pension? There is some sort of pension.
Nope, we have no pension. What now? When you retire, you've got money in Plan C, or you happen to be in Plan A and you have money there. At the point when you're ready to retire, essentially what's in your Plan C or Plan A, you can think of it like a huge savings account. And at that point, if you wanted to, if you don't mind paying the government a whacking great amount of taxes, you could pull it out as a big lump sum, throw all the dollars in a bathtub, and just jump in and fly it around. People generally don't do that. What you would want to do at retirement, you will have the option to either just set it up as regular monthly payments, like you were withdrawing it from a savings account, or you can set up an annuity. An annuity is like a pension, and you have those options. Like within TIAA-CREF, they even have a fund that's an annuity fund, where when you retire, it sets up as a regular payment that goes for your entire life, no matter how long you live. On the other hand, the downside of an annuity is when you set up as an annuity, and let's say you're so happy to be finally retired, you walk out and you don't look both ways when you cross the street and someone ignores the crosswalk. Well, in that case, the annuity company wins. You know, once you've died, it ends. If you come from a long-lived family and you figure you've got, you know, relatives who have made it to 100 and beyond, which I've got a friend who's actually got a fair number of his older relatives who have made it past 100. He's got 2 great aunts who made it to 105 before they died. For him, an annuity is a really good idea because an annuity pays for as long as you live. And if you live beyond the normal age expectations, you keep getting that money. But yeah, their Plan A does not have a pension, but it has the annuity option. And so, of course, do you have the same annuity option with your Plan C money if you've put money aside. Those are the kind of things, though, how much your annuity pays is all based on how much money you have put aside, how much of it you choose to annuitize. That gets to be a very complicated conversation. Please, if you are thinking of retiring any time in the next 5 years, you should be already starting to talk to either the Vanguard or TIAA-CREF representative about what the money in your investment account represents. If you're a Plan B person, you should have it. So the name Terry Ramage Lewis should have been very familiar to you when Danielle talked about it, because at some point you're going to want to sit down with Terry and go over what your Plan B options are and what kind of dollars you can look at for that. There are limits on how much you put aside. I already mentioned it. Oop, I jumped ahead of the slide. $18,000 in that plan. That is the same limit for people in Plan A and Plan C for supplemental contributions. That's an overall IRS limit. It's the same for everybody across the U.S. It's the limit for 401k plans and 403b plans, which happen to be what we have, and also for there's several other in the alphabet soup of numbers and letters that IRS has They're an overall maximum, so if you do something like change carriers mid-year, you want to make sure that between your two different employers, you don't go over that. That generally isn't a problem for most people. You know, if you're under 50, maximum per year is $18,000. If you're age 50 or over, it's $24,000. And TIAA-CREF and Vanguard are two investment options. If you'd rather not talk over the phone or you don't like doing things online, they each send representatives to campus each month, so you can make an individual appointment and sit down one-on-one. We have had the same rep with Vanguard for a while. That's a difference. For a while there, we were having revolving doors with our Vanguard rep, but Dawn has now been doing the university's plan for at least 5 years, so she's very familiar with how all the case plan works. Our TIAA-CREF reps have been around for a long time. They also know how everything works. TIAA-CREF is particularly nice because they actually have an office in town, so you even have opportunities to talk to them if you don't come to the meetings we have on campus. They have an office in Beechwood at the One Eaton Center, you know, off of 271. And again, I jumped ahead of the slides. Oh, well.
Is there a schedule of when the TIA people come?
Yeah. Go to the HR website. Fastest way, you can go directly to benefits. If you type in hr.case.edu/benefits, takes you straight to the benefits page. When you look down the sidebar, there's a menu. If you point at retirement, a little menu will fly out, and there's a thing that says retirement. It's financial planning, I believe it is. Anyway, when you get to that financial planning page, we have a list up that we keep. Right now, Terry just got up the list of all the meetings from June through to the end of the year. Vanguard, there's an even easier way to see when they come, because if you go online to their Meet Vanguard, you just type in MEET VANGUARD.com and press enter, it'll take to their page. Vanguard's very low cost, and they do that by keeping their things online and on the phone. So when you go to their Meet Vanguard page, it'll ask, what state are you in? And you pick Ohio, and then it's going to ask you what company you're with. And this shows you how much of an account Case has with Vanguard. We are the only place in Ohio. That's the only thing that'll drop down is listed that they have individual meetings is Case Western Reserve. Then when you click on that, they'll give the upcoming meetings, and you can actually sign up for one right online. TIAA-CREF, they've got an 800 number that you would. This is the thing, by the way, and rather than going through the menus, that link is what gets you to the page that has the schedule of the benefits. TIAA-CREF, you call an 800 number to set up a meeting. We do have a series for those, since this is all staff, and unlike the faculty, you don't get the summer off. The first week of August, we are having a bunch of financial education sessions. We're doing them in conjunction with the wellness program, so there's a lot of just general financial wellness things involved in it, but also we are going to have Social Security and OSHIP here, which is, OSHIP is the Ohio Senior Health Insurance Information Program. Again, if you are getting within spitting distance of retirement, strongly recommend trying to make the OSHIP session. They are the Medicare experts. It's run by the Ohio Department of Insurance. It's a state. They have no skin in the game. They are totally. They will tell you how Medicare works, what plans you have. I speak from personal experience on how wonderful they are because I'm the caregiver for my elderly parents, and they had health span, and so I had to re-enroll them in a new retirement carrier for this year. And if it hadn't been for OSHIP, I don't know what I'd have done. They were tremendously helpful in figuring my way out through Medicare. So if you are anywhere near retirement, week of August 1st through 5th, I just checked before I came here. OSHIP and Social Security will be here on August 3rd. So that's, we're going to have it up, the dates and times on our website fairly soon. We won't be announcing it in the daily until much closer to it because people forget what they read in the daily, and the daily won't rerun articles. But we're going to have the dates and times on our websites, all the locations. So you're definitely going to want to look at that. And now we're back to Holly. Ooh, I talked too long.
Sorry, occupation, that's all right. All right. I know I was out last month here at the School of Medicine that they were doing a program for their masters. And so I spoke on tuition waiver. So if any of you attended that, this will probably kind of sound really, really familiar to you all. But I just wanted to spend a couple minutes talking to you about tuition waiver and tuition reimbursement. I am the one who runs that benefit. I don't think a lot of people necessarily know about it or utilize it, so we want to make sure that you are familiar with it. As Amy indicated, our benefits page on the HR website has all the information that we talk about today and links to all the different benefits. If you're interested in knowing about tuition waiver or reimbursement, you can go there. It is kind of, I'll be honest, the policy is quite wordy and just all one page, not very user-friendly. I, however, tend to think I'm user-friendly, so if you prefer to just talk or email with me, go right ahead. Just overall for both programs, it covers the cost of tuition only, okay? So if you have any fees or books, anything at all in addition to just tuition, that is not covered under either one of the programs. I'm speaking here just about full-time employees because a majority of them are. If any of you are part-time, we do prorate the number of credit hours that you can take in a semester. So again, if you're in that situation and want to talk to me about it, we can talk about later. I'm just going to do full-time for the sake of the group. In the fall and spring semesters, you can enroll up to 6 credit hours for tuition waiver and tuition reimbursement. Before I move forward, tuition reimbursement is a program where you would take classes outside of CASE, job-related courses. So if you can't get away from your job during the day to go to one of the CASE courses, that applies. Or say, for example, they don't offer the classes that you're taking, but they do at another institution, you would utilize that program. That has a limit, a dollar limit on it of $2,500 a fiscal year. As Amy indicated, our fiscal year runs July 1st through June 30th. So we're finishing up one this week and we'll be starting a fresh one next week. And tuition waiver is the program here for you to take classes here at CASE. Okay, so just so you understand the difference in the terminology. But again, fall and spring semesters, you can take up to 6 credit hours if you're a full-time employee. During our summer term, it's limited to 3. Now you can take over that amount, okay? This is the limit for tuition waiver benefits. So if you do decide that you want to be real ambitious and take extra classes, knock yourself out, but you're going to financially be responsible for anything over the amount that tuition waiver will cover. For eligibility, real simple, you just have to be in a benefits eligible position. I do want to point out that if you leave the university mid-semester, these are some key dates you want to remember, especially if you sign up, okay? So if you decide you're going to take a class this fall, awesome, great. Just keep your employment in place through October 15th, please. Okay? If you leave before that date, your tuition waiver would be rescinded, okay? And then you would be responsible for that. But as long as you stay employed through that date, you're good, okay? Spring is a March 15th date and summer is July 15th. So if any of you are currently in tuition waiver, okay, hang on till July 15th, all right? And that way you won't run into the situation where your tuition waiver would be reversed. All right, so applying for the benefit, whether it be through tuition waiver or reimbursement, you do have to have your forms to me prior to the start of classes, okay? For tuition reimbursement, there is a form for that your supervisor has to sign. In addition to that, you have to send proof of tuition and proof of registration at whatever university you're at. Those 3 documents come to me, I'll review them, give you a green light saying, yep, we're all good, go ahead, take your class. Upon completion of your class, again, assuming you're still here with us, send me your grade. As long as you get a C or better, I send you reimbursement. It's that easy, okay? For tuition waiver, I need your forms, preferably by the start of classes. I let everyone know I can't send anything over to student accounts until after the end of add drop. So some people will be a little late with the forms, and that's okay. I will also accept them at any point. Okay, so if you're sincerely late, I'll take them. Just know that student accounts may have assessed you some late fees that will not be covered under tuition waiver. So just very important that you get your forms in on time. Again, supervisor approval is required on tuition waiver as well. Okay, they need to know that you're attending classes and that they're good with it. If you want to take graduate level classes, okay, the IRS gets involved because they have nothing better to do, right? Okay, so basically they're saying, yes, if you can take graduate level classes, however, if they're not job related, you're going to be taxed on them, okay? If you do undergraduate, this is not even applicable, so don't worry about that. We're just talking specifically for you and specifically for graduate level classes. So if it's not job related, they will allow the first $5,250 in tuition to be tax free. Okay? And if any of you are in the program, you know that's not a whole lot here. Okay? So, but we will apply that. Anything in addition you would be taxed on, and you are taxed in the semester in which you receive the benefit. Okay? If any of you are in that position, I can spend a lot of time talking to you and explaining how we do the calculations and how that figures out. Just know that if you are taking graduate level classes and they are job related, we do have a tax affidavit that we ask you complete. You just list out the courses you're taking and how they are relevant to your current position, and then we won't have to tax you on that. If you have a spouse or domestic partner, they can attend classes here at CASE. They receive a benefit of 50% of the undergraduate rate if they're matriculated, 25% if they're not. You are taxed as the employee on any tuition waiver benefit they receive. Dependent children, it's not up on the slide, but if you have any dependent children who would like to attend CASE, undergraduate, they get 100% of the undergraduate tuition paid, okay? To give you guys an idea of what the cost is this past academic year, full-time, one semester, $22,796, okay? And they can receive up to 8 full-time semesters, so that's a real nice benefit. If they want to come here for graduate instead of undergraduate, that's fine too. Graduate, they get 50% of the undergraduate rate, and then you, as the employee, would be taxed on the amount of waiver they receive in the semester that they get it. Okay, so real quick, some coursework that's not covered under the benefit, which we do not allow certificate programs. If you have any type of continuing education courses you have to take, we don't cover those. And if you audit a class, we do not cover that as well. So you'd want to take it for a grade. I've already touched on the waiver payments. That's all done after completion if you do the tuition reimbursement upon completion of a C or better. And again, there's the maximum of $2,500 per fiscal year. Okay, at this point, I would turn things over to Nancy Isa over in financial aid. She is unable to make it today and it has asked us to step in and kind of give you guys a blurb about tuition exchange. So I'm going to go over some of the highlights of that. I will preface this part by saying if you guys have any questions at all specifically about tuition exchange, I would direct you to Nancy to either call or email her. She'll be able to answer your questions on that particular program. But tuition exchange, this is not considered a benefit per se. It is more of a scholarship opportunity for your dependent children. There is a consortium of over 600 schools that they can look at if they're interested. Recently, financial aid changed some of the wording here. This program used to be only available for first-time, first-year students. They've since offered it up, and now it is available also for transferring and continuing students. So the other change to the program that came about as of last year is that for the number of slots that would be available for exports, meaning students that would be going to other institutions than CASE, everything is based on the employee's service date now. okay? So we do actually break it down into years, months, and days if necessary, if somebody's hired at the same time. So everything for eligibility is determined based on service. So when you fill out the forms, and I did bring some here if you want to grab some, we will certify that you are full-time, that you are eligible, and we will provide financial aid your service date, okay? They will put all that into a spreadsheet that they keep, and then it's determined based on the number of slots they have available for that upcoming academic year, where the cutoff may be, okay? And that is a change from previous. Again, this is a scholarship opportunity, so it's not guaranteed. Admission is never guaranteed. And then this is just letting you know that the dependents, they're all evaluated and awarded the scholarships based on the criteria for the university that they're looking to apply with. So again, CASE does not have any say on whether or not your student would get a scholarship. This falls in line with our tuition waiver benefit, meaning that the scholarships could typically cover 4 years or 8 semesters. So if they do a partial tuition exchange at another university but transfer here to CASE, those would be in combination. They're not separate. So think of it this way, that each dependent child would receive 4 full years or 8 semesters of tuition exchange, waiver, whatever combination. Okay? So the application process, there are eligibility forms here. They're also available online. You would need to fill one of those out. We will start accepting those in July, okay? We are doing this for fall of 18, so it's the 18-19 academic year, okay? You would fill one of these forms out. You would bring it to HR, okay, with a copy of your most recent tax return, first page, top portion, to show that your dependent is your tax dependent, okay? Those have to be received in HR no later than October 1st, okay? It's a hard deadline. If October 1st falls on the weekend, whatever we get when we come into the office Monday morning, we will accept. But other than that, nothing. As of October 1st, we give Nancy the green light that everything's been received, and that's when she goes through her process of determining service and how many slots and who gets them, okay? So you would be notified by November 1st, either way from Nancy's office, whether you've gotten one of the open slots or not. And then she will give you direction as to what has to happen from there. Any questions on the tuition exchange program should go to financial aid. If you have questions about the eligibility guidelines, you would talk to us in HR, because again, we're the ones, we will take the eligibility forms, we will certify them, and we will pass them on to Nancy on your behalf. Okay? All right, so we will do a couple minutes. I know Pam's anxious to talk to you about all the IT stuff. Do you guys have any questions for either Amy or myself? Again, we will be here after it ends at 1. You guys are always welcome to call and email us as well. I'll open it up. Yes?
You mentioned daycare briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that available to most?
No. The postdoc, the question is about the daycare benefit, the dependent care account for postdocs, and we don't handle.
So you mean what you're talking about, the flexible spending dependent care account? I'm not sure what you mean by daycare program.
That was what I was referring to. We have a dependent care account for daycare expenses.
Then yes, so no.
No, they'd have to be in Benelit. I don't know if postdocs have their own benefits.
Yep. Diana Fox.
In graduate studies is the person who manages it. I'm about 99% certain that it doesn't include flexible spending accounts, but Diana is the person who have to confirm that.
You're just all that benefits knowledgeable, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I figured. Yes?
You mentioned the CVS and the
Yes.
vaccines, do they have a list somewhere online where you can go and see?
Just because I know they're taping and I want you all to hear, there was a question about the vaccines at the CVS Minute Clinics. I would say that yes, I would go to their website and look. They should have, and I would actually even call the Minute Clinic you are potentially looking at going to. Because when I talked to Elizabeth Click, our wellness director, she said that you want to make sure that they have the particular one you're looking for available at the location that you're wanting to visit.
And I'll loom over Holly's shoulder so the
this
mic
is
can
kinda
pick me
creepy.
up. If what you're looking for is the list of the kind of things that go for a zero copay, that list is actually maintained by the government. We have a link to it. Again, if you go to hr.case.edu/benefits, on our main benefits page, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link to the government site where it lists all of the things that are covered under wellness. And that site also has the list of all the vaccines they cover, what ages they cover on. I'm counting down myself to the shingles vaccine. 2 weeks from now, I'm finally going to get it.
Who else is excited about a shingles vaccine, right? Okay, woo! Yeah, Friday night, here I come.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So we have it there, or you can just search on healthcare.gov. That's where it's at.
Actually, on the shingles vaccine, it's a good idea to call that clinic because they have to have you physically there and defrost it. So you have to wait for it to be defrosted.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't just like hop in and go, okay, we're ready.
See, you can schedule your Friday night plans ahead of time. Ooh,
You have to
awesome.
physically be on site at the CVS when.
Thank you.
because they have to
Thank you for
defrost
sharing
it.
that. That's awesome to know.
20 minutes.
Okay,
I've known that in 2 weeks.
you had a question?
Yes, about pharmacy, are we only allowed to use CVS for pharmacy?
Great question. The question is, can we only use CVS? The answer to that is no. And when I'm speaking now, I'm talking about any of you that are on the prescription plan. So you're on the Anthem or Medical Mutual plan. We are not talking about those of you on the CleCare HMO. If you are on the PPO or high deductible plans, yes, you do. You can utilize any pharmacy. CVS has a conjunction with Caremark, but they are not the only ones. So if you like Walgreens or you like Giant Eagle to get your fuel perks, knock yourself out.
I've used Marks. And
Okay.
they're very cheap, but I got a letter in the mail that said, can I get it on a monthly basis? My physician wrote the script for 90.
Okay.
90 days.
If you're doing a 90-day medication, okay, CVS, because of their conjunction with Caremark, they will allow you to fill a 90-day script at their local pharmacy. Normally, you have to go through a mail order program, but CVS will say, well, you can come to our retail store and fill a 90-day. You can't fill a 90-day at any pharmacy. You can only fill a 30-day supply. Yeah.
They're telling me no.
Yeah.
I can't get it anymore.
Yeah, so if you're doing just like if you get a sinus infection and your doctor calls in a 30-day script, you can go anywhere. If you're on maintenance type medications where you have to have a 90-day supply, you either have to go through the mail order pharmacy program or visit a local CVS pharmacy for the 90-day.
Can you put an asterisk on there to say if you want that low cost? Because you can still get it from Walgreens, but they're-
You cannot.
Can't- oh, they 90 days.
You cannot get a 90-day supply outside.
No, not the 90, but the regular 30-day supply. So if someone wants a 30-day supply,
Mhm.
but wants to go to Walgreens.
They absolutely can.
But their cost will be higher, correct?
No, whatever the
It's a maintenance drug, cost of
the maintenance. Okay, I guess we need to clarify that we're talking maintenance. Okay. Yes.
Just two quick things.
Sure.
One, I use Tuition Exchange, and
Okay.
I highly recommend you are aware of the deadline of the school where your child's applying, because their deadlines are different.
Yes.
And two, SAC has a program where they have some funds available for employees who are taking classes and need help with books or fees.
Okay.
They raise money and I don't know how they distribute it, but they have.
Okay. All right. Thank you for contributing that. We appreciate that.
I'll add on to this.
Okay.
It's called the Staff Educational Enhancement Fund. It's actually being changed
Okay.
slightly, so.
Okay.
That might
Do
not
it
be in
today.
existence anymore.
Okay. So if you're interested in getting help with like books or fees, in addition, that tuition waiver is not going to cover, go through SAC, there might potentially be a benefit there available for you. So I'm going to cut this short because I feel really bad for Pam that she's going to jam this all in 8 minutes. But thank you for your attention. Again, Amy and I will hang out afterwards if you guys have any questions that you want to present to us. Thank you for your patience. There you go.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Pam Levin from University Technology, and I'm just going to go over some of the things that you may not remember, may not realize, or may have forgotten actually are benefits to you. So just go over a little bit about University Technology. We provide university-wide technology services. We protect your technology environment, and we provide unlimited technology support. And that is across university-wide. We recently centralized. David Pulaski and his group has joined University Technology. They are devoted to the med school still. However, they are part of the division now. We have better communications. We're going to have better security and upgrades of equipment. But you have not lost their individualized support, just so you understand. Technology support. So I just want to point out to you the ways that you can get technology support on campus. It's online, through the phone, email, and the walk-in center. So the walk-in center is in the lower level of Kelvin Smith Library. The hours are different now because we're in the summertime. I'm going to point out to you, your staff members, you can go in there, you can get something fixed, you can call them up, it'll happen. If you happen to have a student who says, oh, my motherboard just fried, tell them to go into the walk-in center. It is at no additional cost to the students to go in there and get technology help. They sometimes think they're going to be charged. If their motherboard is under warranty, the service desk will help them, desk-side support will help them order a new one, and then when it comes in, they will install it, no cost to the student. If it happens to be out of warranty, the student will have to purchase the technology themselves, and the desk side people will help them do that, but then it'll be installed by the service desk at no additional cost. Sometimes they think there's a cost involved and there isn't, so please point that out to students. Your technology account, this is kind of, should be very familiar to you. But you want to choose a password when you activate your network ID, but you're going to be asked to change it regularly. And how that's going to happen is you're going to get an email 30 days in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 5 days in advance. And why do I know this? It's because I just did it. I got one at 30 days, 14 days, 5 days, 3 days, 24 hours, yes. And anyway, just make sure it's private and complex, and make sure if you have a problem, if you've changed it and there's a problem, call the number. They will help you. Sometimes it has to do with what Google syncs up with Active Directory. Sometimes they don't sync up properly. So if there's a problem once you change your password, please call the service desk. They'll be able to help you out. This is kind of the dry portion of this, but it's also very important. Please use our resources responsibly. Don't start running a BitTorrent machine under your desk. Please don't, illegally stream, download movies. You also never share your password. Never share restricted information via voicemail or email, and that especially goes for the med school, the nursing school, the dental school. The whole university is under FERPA, but you guys are also under HIPAA, and there's a lot of patient information that could end up on your laptop or otherwise online. So please make sure that you are following your department's guidelines on how to share information, but we really don't want you to do it via voicemail or email. And then also from the Software Center, please download Semantic Endpoint Protection and Identity Finder. Those are two very important pieces of technology that are available on the Software Center for free, and it'll protect your machine. Okay, and watch out for fraudulent material. I'm sure everybody knows what a phishing attack is and what spam is and things like that. So we never want you to communicate your password or sensitive information via phone or email again. Our communications, like the one that says, please change your password, is going to send you to help.case.edu, and then it's going to tell you how to reset your password, how to change your password. It's never going to send you to the page directly. If you get an email that's sending you to a page directly, it isn't from us. So you can always hover over the URL if you want to verify its authenticity. But when in doubt, just forward it on to help@case.edu. They will be able to tell it's authentic. Let them click on that link on their machines. So you don't do that. And if you want to see some examples of phishing, go to securityware.case.edu. Human capital management. You know all about it by putting some of your information in there, but you should be aware that you verify your personal information at HCM. You do your direct deposit information, so if you're changing banks, that's where you change that kind of information. Your benefits will show up there, and then also your business phone number that appears on the case directory, that is also pulled from HCM. So you may want to go in there sometime, not just to put your hours in, but to also verify some of the information around there. As you know, we're a Google Technology campus, so I just want to go through Google Drive. That is unlimited storage there. So please use that to back up your family photos. Go ahead and share various files and presentations. This is done in there. Feel free to do that. Again, being aware that it is not a good backup source for your sensitive information. So please do not do that. You should be backing up your computer, but please check with your department as to how best they would like you to handle it. Then there's the calendaring groups. We just got rid of the old group email list, list.case.edu, doesn't work anymore, so you want to use groups for that kind of information. And then there's Hangouts for your communications, your IMs, your video, your voice meetings. Research technologies. This is very important for the med school, and I cannot speak very intelligently about this, but the people in research computing can do that. They have PhDs, and it's pretty amazing. But if you ever have any questions about the research technologies here at the university, visit that website. Video conferencing. So someone wants to plan a seminar, please use our video conferencing equipment. There are state-of-the-art rooms around the campus that you can use for doing this. If you're having a conference here, but you want people who cannot attend to be able to see it, please use the video conferencing. We are going to have a new service available in the next month called Zoom. So if you're frustrated with Hangouts because it doesn't, it breaks down after 8 people are on there, but you don't want to set up WebEx or anything like that, Zoom is a wonderful tool. Please look for the announcements coming in July. It's really wonderful for meetings and things like that. And also as far as your office phones, talk to your department about that. Software Center. You may not have visited the Software Center recently, but please do visit it. We do update it. And things like Microsoft Office and Adobe Acrobat, no cost to you. But things like Adobe Creative Cloud, so your boss has asked you to do some Photoshop editing or some updating of a website, things like that. You can get Adobe Creative Cloud for $59 per license, meaning one-time cost. If you went to Adobe right now and tried to download Adobe Creative Cloud for yourself, that's going to be $60 or it's $50 a month for that. So this is a great value. Now, as staff members, you have to go through, you have to have your speed type. You can't just download this on your own and pay $59. But if you can con your boss into it, I highly recommend it. I did. The Case eStore, just to point out to you, the eStore, we still have deals with Dell and Apple that is for your staff computer as well as personal purchases. And we now have Verizon as well as Sprint and AT&T for mobile services. If you already have a Verizon account or any one of these, call them. Go to the eStore and see how to get in touch with them. Even if you already have a personal account with them, go ahead. They will make the discount on your already existing contract. And this is one thing that we found that a lot of people either don't know, weren't aware, forgotten exists. Lynda.com is a wonderful online video-based teaching tool. And it allows for professional development skills of leadership and presentation skills. But there's also software and app development. So if you want to get into that kind of thing, that's available. And there's also creative skills that could be for your hobbies or interests. You're into photography or something like that. This is a wonderful thing. What it is, it's online videos. And they come in fully table of contents there. So they're about 3 minutes long, 3 to 5 minutes long video. It's broken up very nicely into chunks, so if you only have a little bit of time to review something, please do that. If you have a question on an Excel problem, go there. They probably have a video. Just find that chapter and page on it. Watch that 3-minute video. You now know how to use the macros, things like that. But it can also help with other interests and skills. You can also, if you're going on a plane, you can download the videos for offline use. So you're on the plane for 5 hours to your 3-month honeymoon, and you're not going to go into the airline bathroom with your new spouse. You can watch these videos and learn something, learn Swahili on the way. But I strongly recommend you check it out. They are owned by LinkedIn. So let's say you finish a certificate-based course there. That certificate, once it's finished, will be put on your LinkedIn account to show future employers, should you leave Case, that you are learning skills outside of your normal duties anyway. So I strongly recommend you check that out, and please notify students about it. It's one of the most underused services that we do offer. But here are some ways that you can get UTech information. I'm also going to point out that I brought cell phone wallets. They go onto the back of your cell phone if you'd like. They come with a card that has the service desk and help desk information on it, but it fits wonderfully for your ID, some cash, a credit card, something like that. It's an easy way to keep stuff around. So I'll put those up on the table. Any questions? Okay. So more HR questions?
Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you for Holly and Amy and Pam having come and share some hopefully good information with you. Hopefully you all have the assessment. If you could please complete that for us, especially if there's topics that you're interested in that you haven't seen yet, please share those with us. There are refreshments left, so please feel free to take some on your way out. This Toolkit has been recorded, will be on the Faculty Affairs and HR websites as long as the other archived videos, so please feel free to check those out. And if you have any questions going forward about this topic or even past topics, please feel free to reach out to me directly, danielle.haslett@case.edu, or you can send an email to som-humanresources@case.edu, and that'll go towards our office. Another thing to mention, I know we were scheduled to have one more speaker to talk about the employee discounts, and I know that some of the IT discounts were mentioned, but there are other discounts as well. So we'll be sending out an email to everyone who signed up. We'll send an email out to all of you sharing the link to all the employee discounts. They are located on the benefits page. And then any other information, and I'll get with the three ladies here to get some of the information that they share that may not have been in this video, some of the links, and we can share those with you as well in a follow-up email. So any quick questions before we leave? No? Okay, well, great. Well, thank you. I know we ran about 5 minutes over. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.